Hey, what's going on, guys? Will Craddock here with Will Twin Gaming, and I am back with my advanced tips and tricks for my Kaido deck list. Let's start off with what happens if I don't have Onigashima Island in my opening hand. Well, Mulligan. If you draw your second hand and you don't have it, look for Sasaki. Sasaki fills the role of Island. He's a little worse, but at the end of the day, you only need to ramp one extra Dawn to be able to play your 9 and 10 drop Kaidos a turn earlier. So that's what you should be looking for. If you don't have an Island, look for a Sasaki. Next, let's talk about why no Thunderbagua and no Blast Breath. Every list you've seen online probably has 4 Blast Breath. For Kaido, this is incorrect. The deck is very linear. The biggest game plan is ramp, play fat stuff, kill your opponent's board. Those 2 cards go against the game plan simply because you have to leave open Dawn and you can't play your 9 and 10 drop Kaidos as easily if you're leaving that Dawn up. The solution to this is the 2K counters. These cost 0 Dawn and have incredible defensive ability, and at the end of the day, they are just a little better than the Blast Breath or the Thunderbagua. Next, let's talk about when you would not want to use the on-play abilities of your Fatty Boom Booms. This seems like kind of a weird question, and the reason is because so many people are used to just playing their Queen, -1 Dawn, draw 2 cards, and trash card. While this is an incredibly powerful effect, ultimately when you do that, you need to look at what's going to happen the next 2-3 turns of the game. If I play my Queen and Dawn -1, will I be able to play my 9 and 10 drop Kaidos when I need to, or will they stuck in my hand while I'm being beat down by a Kid or a Zoro player? And more specifically, in the mirror, there's a lot of times you might even play your 9 and 10 drop Kaidos and not even use their abilities. The mirror is all about inducing action from your opponent. Generally, whoever plays their Kaido first and uses their ability loses the game. So playing a 10 cost Kaido as a 12k vanilla is perfectly reasonable in the mirror. All right, next let's talk about when do I want to play a second Onigashima Island. We know you can only have one in play, but there are times you might need to activate a second one to reach your breakpoint you're trying to hit. For example, if I have 6 Dawn in play, I rest my Island, I go to 7, I might think to myself, what if I need to drop my 10 drop Kaido next turn? Then I'll play my second Island, destroying the first, activate it, go to 8, and on the following turn I'll be on 10, and I'll be able to use my 10 drop Kaido to destroy all characters if necessary. Next, what happens if I don't draw Kaido? If you don't draw Kaido, again, not the end of the world, you might look to make more aggressive lines if you don't have it in your hand. You can attach 2 extra Dawn to your leader to make an efficient 7k attack. You might drop your kings more aggressively, that way you can clear their board. And if you stay in the 5 to 7 Dawn area, you can still win the game by simply making good decisions and attacking aggressively because your opponent might not expect you to do that. All right, this is one of my favorite questions. What do I do in the Kid matchup? My main advice for this is stay above 2 life. You have a lot of blockers, you have a lot of defensive power with the 2k counters, and the reason you want to stay above 2 life is simply if you drop a 10 drop Kaido and wrath his board, if you're at 1 life or God forbid 0 life, that Kid is going to attack you for 12 2 times, and assuming you have at least 4 2k counters, it's going to cost you 4 cards to defend that attack. 4. We don't want to do that. If he does that when you're on 2 life, you can simply take the 2 hits and you'll be fine because he's probably dead. So mainly play defensively, stay above 2 life. Finally, the last tip, and is probably the most difficult one, is when do I use Kaido's leader ability? There's a lot of situations when you don't want to use it simply because using 7 Dawn sets you so far back. If you don't kill them, you're going to lose the game. For the most part, the best ways to use it that I found is if my opponent's on 2 life, I might attach 7 Dawn to even a small attacker such as a Higurashi and make a large attack. And then I can discard those 7 Dawn that were attached to my Higurashi to go to their final life, and I can make like an 8k attack with my leader, or if I have a Queen or a King, I can make a larger 9, 10k attack, and hopefully it's enough to win me the game. All right, guys, that was my advanced tips and tricks for Kaido. Thanks for joining me. If you like the content, click the thumbs up, subscribe below. Don't forget to tell your friends. And if you have some questions I feel I didn't answer, feel free to comment. I'll get back to you, and make sure you join me for my next video. It sounds bad, but it's not the end of the world. The best advice I can give is, that was so good too. I'll start off so good. All right. Destroy their I like that one. Let's go home.